The year is 2023. The air crackles with anticipation in a grand hall in New York City. A summit of global leaders is underway, a confluence of power and policy shaping the future of nations. Amongst this assembly of world figures, a relatively unknown name was about to capture the world's attention. Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, a nation grappling with immense challenges, including political instability and persistent socioeconomic disparities, found itself unexpectedly thrust into the global spotlight. Its leader, a figure often overlooked in the international discourse, was on the cusp of a transformative moment. The stage was set. Former President Barack Obama, a figure synonymous with global leadership and diplomacy, was addressing the assembled dignitaries. His words, carefully chosen and deeply resonant, were about to redefine the narrative surrounding Africa's development and its leaders. This was not merely a political address. It was a pivotal moment, a turning point in the perception of a continent often portrayed through the lens of aid and intervention. Obama's words, poised to resonate across continents and inspire generations, were about to ignite a spark of hope and self-belief. His commentary on Ibrahim Traoré's leadership was not just praise. It was a declaration, a powerful assertion of Africa's inherent strength and potential for self-determination. The world watched, breathlessly anticipating the impact of this powerful statement. The weight of history, the burden of expectation, and the promise of a new dawn converged in this single, electrifying moment. What followed would redefine the trajectory of Burkina Faso and reverberate across the African continent, igniting a flame of hope and inspiring a new era of self-reliance. This is the story of how a single moment of recognition transformed a nation and its leader, forever altering the course of its destiny. It is a story of dignity, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of a sovereign future. The weight of expectation hung heavy in the air. Then, former President Obama's voice, clear and resonant, filled the hall. His words, carefully chosen, were not merely diplomatic pleasantries. They were a profound statement on the state of African leadership and development. He spoke of the challenges faced by the continent, acknowledging the historical injustices and persistent inequalities that have hampered progress. But his message was not one of despair. It was a call for a fundamental shift in perspective. The statement that resonated most powerfully, a statement that would echo across the globe and ignite a wave of renewed hope, was, "Africa doesn't need saving, it needs respect." These words, simple yet profound, shattered the long-held narrative of Africa as a continent in perpetual need of external intervention. It was a bold rejection of the paternalistic approach that had characterized much of the continent's relationship with the developed world. Instead, Obama's message emphasized the inherent strength, resilience, and potential of African nations and their leaders. The impact of this statement was immediate and profound. It challenged the deeply ingrained biases and preconceived notions that had for too long defined the global perception of Africa. It shifted the focus from aid and dependency to self-reliance and empowerment. Suddenly, the narrative changed. Africa was no longer viewed solely through the lens of poverty and conflict, but as a continent brimming with untapped potential, ready to take its rightful place on the world stage. This powerful declaration served as a catalyst, inspiring a wave of pride and self-belief across the African continent, fostering a renewed sense of agency and a determination to shape its own destiny. Obama's words were not just a political statement. They were a clarion call for a more equitable and respectful global partnership. They were a testament to the inherent dignity of African nations and the potential for transformative leadership within its borders. The stage was set for a new era. The impact of Obama's words was not merely intellectual. It was deeply emotional. President Traoré's visible reaction, tears welling in his eyes, captured the hearts of millions. It was a moment of profound significance, not only for Burkina Faso, but for the entire African diaspora. His emotion was not merely personal. It was a reflection of the collective sentiment of a continent long yearning for recognition and respect. It was a visceral response to years of perceived marginalization and the weight of historical injustices. This emotional outpouring resonated deeply with people across the globe, transcending geographical boundaries and cultural differences. It tapped into a universal human longing for dignity and self-worth. Traoré's tears became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of recognition and the transformative potential of a single, carefully chosen phrase. The moment transcended the political realm. It became a powerful expression of human emotion, a shared experience of pride and vindication. The narrative shifted dramatically. The focus moved away from the traditional paradigm of aid dependency, a model that often perpetuated a sense of inferiority and undermined the agency of African nations. Instead, the emphasis shifted towards self-determination, towards the inherent capacity of African nations to chart their own course and shape their own destinies. Obama's words provided a powerful counter-narrative, a potent antidote to decades of condescending portrayals. It was a turning point, a watershed moment that marked a shift in global perception and empowered a new generation of African leaders to pursue their aspirations with renewed confidence and determination. This singular moment of emotional resonance became a catalyst for a powerful movement towards self-reliance and a celebration of African leadership on the global stage. The world witnessed not just a leader moved to tears, but a continent awakened to its own potential. The impact of Obama's statement and Traoré's emotional response rippled outwards, creating a global phenomenon. News outlets worldwide picked up the story, disseminating it to a vast audience. The image of Traoré, moved to tears by Obama's words, became a powerful symbol, instantly recognizable and widely shared across various media platforms. The event transcended the confines of political news, resonating deeply with a global audience eager for a more equitable and just world order. Social media platforms exploded with commentary, analysis, and expressions of solidarity. Hashtags related to the event trended globally, connecting people from diverse backgrounds who shared a common desire for a more respectful and equitable global landscape. The discussion moved beyond the immediate context of the summit, sparking broader conversations about African agency, leadership, and the need for a fundamental shift in the power dynamics that have historically shaped the continent's relationship with the rest of the world. The event triggered a surge in discussions concerning the historical injustices and persistent inequalities that have plagued Africa for centuries. It fueled a renewed focus on the importance of respecting African sovereignty, fostering self-reliance, and empowering local communities to drive their own development agendas. The narrative shifted from one of dependence and paternalism to one of partnership and mutual respect. The conversation extended far beyond the political arena, inspiring artists, writers, and activists to explore the themes of dignity, self-worth, and the pursuit of a sovereign future. The impact was far-reaching, extending to academia, civil society organizations, and international development agencies, all of which began to reevaluate their approaches to African development in light of the profound shift in global perception. This ripple effect continues to reverberate, shaping the discourse surrounding African leadership and development on a global scale. The world was listening, and a new conversation had begun. Inspired by this renewed sense of global recognition and spurred by the profound shift in narrative, President Traoré unveiled a bold vision for Burkina Faso's future, the Sovereign Future Program. This ambitious initiative is not merely a collection of projects. It represents a fundamental shift in the country's development paradigm, moving away from dependence on external aid and embracing a model of self-reliance and sustainable growth. The core objective of the Sovereign Future Program is to empower local communities to become the primary drivers of their own development. This is achieved through a multifaceted approach that prioritizes education, infrastructure development, and the promotion of local entrepreneurship. The program focuses on building capacity at the grassroots level, fostering innovation, and promoting sustainable practices that protect the environment and ensure long-term prosperity. Key initiatives within the program include investments in renewable energy sources, promoting agricultural diversification and sustainable farming techniques, and expanding access to quality education and vocational training. The program also emphasizes the development of robust local industries, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises and creating opportunities for employment and economic growth within Burkina Faso. Furthermore, the program prioritizes good governance, transparency, and accountability, ensuring that resources are utilized effectively and efficiently to achieve maximum impact. By focusing on these key areas, the Sovereign Future Program aims to create a more equitable, prosperous, and resilient Burkina Faso, one that is capable of shaping its own destiny and contributing meaningfully to the global community. This comprehensive approach reflects a deep commitment to sustainable development and a belief in the inherent capacity of Burkina Faso's people to build a brighter future. The program represents a tangible manifestation of the shift from aid dependency to self-determination, embodying the spirit of Obama's powerful message and Traoré's heartfelt response. At the heart of President Traoré's leadership and the Sovereign Future Program lies a profound commitment to dignity and self-worth. These are not merely abstract ideals. They're the foundational principles upon which the entire initiative is built. Traoré recognizes that true development cannot be achieved without first addressing the fundamental human need for respect and recognition. The program's focus on empowering local communities stems directly from this belief, recognizing the inherent capabilities and potential within each individual and community. The program's emphasis on self-reliance is not simply about economic independence. It is about restoring dignity to a people who have, for too long, been subjected to patronizing assistance programs that often undermine their self-respect. By fostering local innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development practices, the program actively cultivates a sense of ownership and pride within communities. This fosters a sense of self-efficacy, empowering individuals to shape their own futures and contribute meaningfully to the broader development of their nation. The long-term vision of the Sovereign Future Program is not merely to improve economic indicators. It is to cultivate a society where every citizen feels valued, respected, and empowered to participate fully in the life of their nation. This holistic approach, placing dignity and self-worth at its core, is what truly sets the Sovereign Future Program apart. It is a testament to the transformative power of recognizing the inherent worth of every individual and community, paving the way for a truly sustainable and equitable future for Burkina Faso. The program's success will be measured not only in economic growth, but also in the enhanced dignity and self-respect of its people. No leader, particularly one embarking on such a transformative agenda, is immune to criticism. President Traoré's ambitious Sovereign Future Program, with its radical departure from traditional development models, has faced its share of scrutiny. However, Traoré's response to this criticism has been as insightful and impactful as the program itself. Rather than dismissing dissenting voices, he has engaged with them, fostering a dialogue that has enriched the program and strengthened the national conversation surrounding self-governance. Traoré's approach highlights a crucial aspect of authentic leadership: the ability to embrace constructive criticism as an opportunity for growth and improvement. He understands that dissent, when approached thoughtfully, can illuminate weaknesses and refine strategies. His willingness to engage in open dialogue demonstrates a commitment to transparency and accountability, vital components of building a truly sovereign and self-governing nation. This approach stands in stark contrast to authoritarian regimes that stifle dissent and suppress open discussion. By welcoming critique and incorporating valuable feedback, Traoré has not only improved the program, but has also strengthened his legitimacy as a leader committed to the betterment of his people. His response to criticism has become a case study in effective leadership, demonstrating how a commitment to open dialogue can foster trust and strengthen national unity. Furthermore, his approach serves as a powerful model for other African leaders, illustrating how genuine self-governance demands a willingness to engage with dissenting voices and embrace the complexities of public discourse. This commitment to open dialogue ultimately contributes to a broader conversation about African autonomy and self-governance, highlighting the importance of internal reflection and national self-determination. The Sovereign Future Program represents a powerful challenge to long-held, often paternalistic, narratives surrounding African development. For decades, many African nations have been subjected to aid-dependent models that, while often well-intentioned, have inadvertently perpetuated cycles of dependency and undermined local agency. Traoré's program boldly rejects this neo-colonial approach, advocating instead for a model of self-reliance that places the power of development firmly in the hands of the Burkinabe people. This shift in paradigm is not merely about economic independence. It represents a fundamental reimagining of the relationship between African nations and the global community. The program's emphasis on community empowerment, local entrepreneurship, and sustainable practices directly confronts the narrative of Africa as a continent in need of constant external intervention. It asserts, instead, that Africa possesses the inherent capacity for self-determination and sustainable development, a capacity that has been too often overlooked or underestimated. Traoré's actions are reshaping the African narrative, demonstrating that genuine progress requires more than simply financial aid. It demands a fundamental shift in power dynamics. By prioritizing local initiatives and fostering a culture of self-sufficiency, the Sovereign Future Program is creating a model for other African nations to emulate. It is a powerful testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the African people, and a beacon of hope for a future where African nations are not seen as recipients of charity, but as active participants in shaping their own destinies. This bold rejection of neo-colonial approaches and the embrace of self-reliance is not only transforming Burkina Faso, but is also inspiring a new generation of African leaders to chart their own course towards sustainable and equitable development. The program stands as a testament to the power of self-determination and a call for a more equitable and respectful global partnership. The success of the Sovereign Future Program hinges on a fundamental principle: empowering the people. It's not a top-down initiative imposed from the capital. It's a grassroots movement driven by the energy and innovation of local communities. This decentralized approach recognizes that sustainable development cannot be achieved without the active participation and leadership of those most directly affected. The program actively fosters a culture of local ownership and accountability, ensuring that initiatives reflect the unique needs and aspirations of each community. Numerous examples illustrate this commitment to grassroots leadership. In rural communities, for instance, the program has supported the establishment of locally managed agricultural cooperatives, providing training and resources to enhance productivity and market access. These cooperatives are not merely recipients of aid. They're self-governing entities driven by the collective vision of their members. Similarly, in urban areas, the program has facilitated the creation of community-based infrastructure projects, from improved sanitation systems to the development of local artisan workshops. These initiatives are not isolated examples, but rather represent a broader shift towards a more participatory model of development. The program provides the resources and support necessary for communities to take ownership of their own development, fostering a sense of agency and pride that is crucial for long-term sustainability. This grassroots approach ensures that the program remains responsive to the evolving needs of the population, adapting and evolving to meet the challenges and opportunities that arise. It's this emphasis on local leadership and community involvement that truly distinguishes the Sovereign Future Program and promises its continued success in fostering a more equitable and prosperous Burkina Faso. The program's strength lies not in centralized control, but in the collective power of its people. At the heart of the Sovereign Future Program lies a commitment to self-reliance as the cornerstone of sustainable development. This isn't merely an economic strategy. It's a philosophy that prioritizes long-term stability and resilience over short-term gains achieved through external dependence. The program recognizes that true development comes from within, fostered by the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the Burkinabe people themselves. This commitment to self-reliance is manifested in a range of concrete initiatives. One notable example is the program's investment in local entrepreneurship. Through microloan schemes and business development training, the program empowers local businesses, fostering economic diversification and reducing reliance on foreign investment. These initiatives are not simply about providing financial assistance. They're about cultivating a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation, enabling Burkinabe citizens to create their own economic opportunities. Furthermore, the program emphasizes sustainable agricultural practices, promoting local food production and reducing dependence on imported goods. This includes initiatives focused on water management, improved farming techniques, and the development of local markets for agricultural products. By strengthening the agricultural sector, the program aims to enhance food security and create economic opportunities in rural communities, fostering a more resilient and self-sufficient nation. This holistic approach to self-reliance is not merely about economic independence. It is about empowering individuals and communities to take control of their own futures, building a stronger and more prosperous Burkina Faso. The program's success hinges on this unwavering commitment to self-reliance as the path to true and lasting sustainable development. The Sovereign Future Program holds the potential to profoundly reshape Burkina Faso's economic, social, and political landscape in the long term. Its success could lead to a more diversified and resilient economy, less reliant on volatile global markets and external aid. Increased local entrepreneurship and sustainable agricultural practices could generate significant economic growth, creating jobs and reducing poverty. This economic empowerment could, in turn, foster greater social stability and reduce inequality. Improved infrastructure, access to education, and enhanced healthcare systems, all integral to the program, could significantly improve the quality of life for Burkinabe citizens. However, the path to achieving these long-term goals is not without its challenges. Sustaining the momentum of the program requires ongoing commitment from the government, consistent investment in human capital, and the effective management of resources. Addressing existing inequalities and ensuring equitable access to opportunities across different regions and social groups will be crucial for preventing the marginalization of certain segments of the population. Furthermore, navigating the complexities of global markets and adapting to unforeseen external shocks will require strategic planning and adaptive capacity. Despite these challenges, the potential benefits are considerable. A successful Sovereign Future Program could serve as a model for other African nations seeking to achieve sustainable development through self-reliance. It could inspire a new generation of African leaders to prioritize local agency and community empowerment, fostering a more equitable and prosperous future for the entire continent. The program's long-term impact on Burkina Faso will depend on its ability to overcome these challenges and effectively harness the potential of its people and resources. The journey is complex, yet the vision holds the promise of a transformed Burkina Faso, a nation thriving on its own strength and resilience. The impact of President Traoré's leadership and the Sovereign Future Program extends far beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. His unwavering commitment to self-reliance and community empowerment serves as a powerful example for other African nations grappling with similar challenges. The program's success, if sustained, could inspire a wave of similar initiatives across the continent, fostering a new paradigm of development driven by local agency and sustainable practices. This shift away from traditional aid dependency towards self-determined growth could fundamentally alter the trajectory of development in numerous African countries. The potential for increased regional cooperation is equally significant. By demonstrating the effectiveness of a locally driven development model, Burkina Faso could encourage greater collaboration among African nations. Sharing best practices, resources, and expertise could accelerate progress across the continent, fostering a sense of collective responsibility and shared prosperity. This collaborative approach could lead to the creation of regional networks and initiatives focused on sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and technological innovation, benefiting all participating nations. The ripple effect of Traoré's leadership is already being felt. His example encourages other African leaders to prioritize community empowerment and reject neo-colonial development models. The program's success could inspire a renewed focus on local solutions, fostering a sense of self-belief and empowering citizens to become active participants in their own development. This Pan-African inspiration could lead to a more equitable and sustainable future for the entire continent, driven by the collective strength and resilience of its people. The journey is ongoing, yet the potential for transformative change is undeniable. President Traoré's approach to development fundamentally challenges traditional models of assistance, often characterized by external dependency and a paternalistic approach. These conventional models frequently overlook the inherent capabilities and agency of the communities they aim to support, perpetuating cycles of reliance rather than fostering self-sufficiency. Traoré's vision, embodied in the Sovereign Future program, directly confronts this paradigm. It prioritizes local knowledge, skills, and resources, empowering communities to become the architects of their own development. The program's emphasis on self-reliance rejects the notion of Africa as a passive recipient of aid. Instead, it champions the continent's potential for innovation and growth, recognizing its rich history and inherent strengths. This shift in perspective is not merely about economic independence. It's about reclaiming dignity and restoring a sense of self-worth. By empowering local communities, the program fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility, ensuring the sustainability of its initiatives long after external support may wane. This new paradigm emphasizes participatory development, where communities actively shape the programs and projects that affect their lives. It prioritizes decentralized decision-making, ensuring that solutions are tailored to the specific needs and contexts of individual communities. This approach fosters ownership, accountability, and a deep sense of commitment to the program's success. It contrasts sharply with top-down approaches that often fail to resonate with local realities. The Sovereign Future program represents a powerful assertion of African agency, demonstrating the continent's capacity to define its own development trajectory and chart its own path towards a prosperous and equitable future. It's a testament to the power of self-belief and the transformative potential of locally driven initiatives. Barack Obama's powerful statement, emphasizing the need for respect rather than saving Africa, marked a pivotal moment in the relationship between the continent and the rest of the world. His words resonated deeply, not just in Africa, but globally, prompting a critical reassessment of traditional development narratives and fostering a new era of collaboration based on mutual respect and equity. The statement transcended a simple endorsement. It served as a powerful call to action, challenging ingrained biases and urging a shift towards genuine partnership. This message of respect has far-reaching implications. It challenges the long-standing power imbalances that have historically characterized the relationship between Africa and the West. It acknowledges Africa's inherent capabilities and potential for self-determination, promoting a paradigm shift from paternalistic aid to collaborative partnerships built on mutual trust and understanding. This new framework fosters a more equitable exchange of knowledge, resources, and expertise, allowing African nations to define their own development priorities and chart their own course. The lasting impact of Obama's message extends beyond specific policies and programs. It has fostered a renewed sense of self-belief and empowerment within Africa, inspiring a generation of leaders and activists to demand greater respect and recognition on the global stage. By challenging traditional power dynamics and promoting a more equitable partnership, Obama's words have laid the foundation for a more just and collaborative future, where Africa's voice is heard and its contributions are valued. The legacy of respect he helped to create will continue to shape the narrative for years to come. The story of President Traoré's recognition and the subsequent launch of the Sovereign Future Program offers a powerful testament to the transformative potential of African-led development. It underscores the importance of respecting the inherent capabilities and agency of African communities, moving beyond outdated models of aid dependency towards genuine partnerships based on mutual respect and collaboration. The program's success hinges on empowering local communities, fostering self-reliance, and prioritizing sustainable practices. This approach not only promotes economic growth, but also restores dignity and fosters a sense of ownership among citizens. The journey towards self-sufficiency will undoubtedly encounter challenges. However, the resilience and determination demonstrated by President Traoré and the people of Burkina Faso serve as an inspiration to other African nations. The success of the Sovereign Future Program offers a blueprint for a new paradigm of development, one that centers on African agency, innovation, and community empowerment. The international community has a crucial role to play in supporting this transformative process. Continued investment in initiatives that promote African-led development, capacity building, and sustainable practices is essential. This support should be guided by principles of mutual respect, partnership, and genuine collaboration, ensuring that African nations are empowered to define their own development paths and chart their own course toward a prosperous and equitable future. The future of Burkina Faso and the African continent holds immense promise, a future shaped by self-determination, resilience, and a shared commitment to building a more just and prosperous world.